You good, Chief? You ready to get this bread? I'm ready to get this bread. My name is Sev, and yes, this is the I'm Just Advocate channel. You're not in the wrong place. I just renamed it, and I started everything again, including my face. Today we're going to be talking about Twitter, the tumor of the internet, where everyone has a voice, unfortunately. So, in case you're wondering what's going to go on with the channel, that's later at the end of the video. Don't worry about that right now. We'll get to that later. So I did take a 1-year hiatus off of all social media. I did delete my Twitter, my Snapchat, and my Instagram. I deleted everything because I was going through some things. But in my time away, I did notice I had a lot more time to wallow in my endless sadness. And also, I noticed that how these platforms were affecting me, I guess, on a social and mental level. Not to say that social media is bad. I think that social media is great. You can connect with people. You know, you can do that jazz. You can, whatever, be an entrepreneur, as we'll get into later. But the thing is that with social media, everyone has a voice. And some of those voices have no reason to speak. Or what the things they say just don't make any sense. And with that going on, you have a lot of different things that are going on Twitter and all platforms really that are just beyond my comprehension of stupidity. And to get into that, well, we'll go into the different types of levels of stupidity. Stupidity? I'm pretty sure you guys have been on Twitter 1,000 times and you've seen something so stupid that it genuinely makes you go. Now, my 1-year hiatus, even though I didn't necessarily have an account, I did check on certain Twitter profiles like Joji's, because at the time he was coming out with Ballads 1, and I wanted to keep up with all the different things that he was doing, and in case obviously there was merch. And the example I'm going to use now is the fact that even though social media, genuinely a lot of people talk like, oh my god, social media is terrible, I'm depressed because it's social media, and I'm depressed because of these things. Not to denounce those things or say that, they're minute, because truly it can happen. But the thing is that social media is just a platform, and how that affects you is in your mind. And for you personally, but for me, when Joji came out with merchandise, it was on the YouTube feed because YouTube on a feed for some reason. And the link there didn't work for me because, again, I'm running on a brick of an Android here. And I had to go onto his Twitter to actually get the link to buy the merchandise, and now I have, the merch from Ballads 1 sitting in my closet as a subtle flex to everybody that likes his music. But there's many mediums that social media is a good thing, and specifically Twitter, you could catch up with a bunch of people, and at the same time you could also slowly rot away your brain cells on the things that people say. And they fall into these different types of categories that I'll go over now. Now, if your mom or your parents or your guardian ever taught you right, they have told you time and time again, whenever you meet someone, never talk about politics. And that's for good reason. Because now that we have Dolan Dark in office, and we have all these people running around, like, you got Kanye, that's the boy, doing his thing, there are many, many points on Twitter where people just go off on political tangents. And I just want to say this. Newsflash. No one cares about your political standpoint. And no one especially cares about you trying to convince them how they're wrong. Because guess what? It's Twitter. No one cares if you care about your pro-choice, you're pro-life. No one cares if you're voting for this person or you're voting for that person. Because everyone's going to stick to their opinion anyways. You've never heard someone on Twitter go, man, I really hated Trump, but then since this one guy argued with me for 40 minutes on my feed, I love the guy. I love him so much. No one cares. And in reality, the more people that just retweet and regurgitate the tweets like this, that are just going on about, if you're not a woman, then you can't talk about issues in politics regarding women. You don't realize how much sense that doesn't make, right? On even just a logical level. Just saying that you're not part of a group means you can't have an opinion or you can't have a standpoint on it. I'm not a Nazi, but the Nazis, they could just do what they want. Because I'm not a Nazi. I can't talk about that. I'm not German. I can't talk about, the persecution and murder of over 1 million Jewish people. I can't talk about that because I'm not, Jewish or German. It doesn't make any sense. And by going off on tangents saying, well, you're just saying that because you're mad, or you're just saying that because you're insensitive. No. It goes with any topic. Now, I will say this, there are a lot of figures, like I mentioned previously, like Kanye and Lana Del Rey, um, that always go off on these tangents about politics or social issues. Oh, and then you have like the poli-sci majors, you know, the ones that they're going like, I took 2 poli-sci classes and I think that I have a valid standpoint on how politics work. And they just always go off on tangents about, you know, how a state that politics are in the U.S. And it's so funny to me that all these people go off screaming things like, I'm for gay marriage, you know, I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-life, I'm pro this, I'm against this, I'm for this politician, I'm against this politician. When in reality it doesn't matter. Most of the time that you're doing that, you're looking for problems because you are obviously coming out and saying something that someone is bound to disagree with, because that's how politics work. So you're telling me that you much rather waste your time going on screaming about your political views just in hopes of looking slightly better either with the people around you or the people against you. Another thing that shows in regards to your your use of social media or your use of Twitter in regards to politics is it shows your stability or your security in your political views. If you're really secure about what you believe in, why are you saying it so much? You know, why do you constantly go off screaming about this is what I support, this is what I don't support, this is who I do support, this is who I don't support? It just doesn't make sense in the long run, especially because everyone knows that the person that talks about it is probably the most insecure person in the room. So it's just it fathoms me. It bean boozles me how people have this mentality. I know. That's my slipper. You're gonna get that? I'm not gonna get that. You're gonna get that. Another thing about Twitter is the fact that people have a strong belief that their retweets or likes will do anything. Like, I'm sorry, but your likes aren't going to feed Dikembe's village. You do realize that, right? And they're not going to change anyone's mind about Trump or about pro-immigration or being against immigration. It makes zero sense. It's not going to do anything. A clear example of that is when people say retweet if you believe in such and such, and usually it's a big, long list of ideas that generally go together.
You know, let's stop slut shaming. Let's stop, you know, pro-choice, pro-life.
And it bean boozles me that people are so hell-bent on sharing their political views on the internet, but in person they'll never talk about it. Because they know that it makes no sense on a social level just to talk about your political beliefs because it's a waste of time, and oftentimes or not it comes off as disrespectful. Another thing that falls into this is pandering. People pander a lot, specifically guys. Girls, I don't think pander that much. I haven't seen it that much in my experience. But guys pander a lot, and by that I mean they'll say, even though I'm a male, I'm a firm believer in that male privilege is a real issue, or that males do this, or that males do that. And most of the time they'll also retweet those same tweets about, you know, pro-life choices. I'm not so heavy on politics, I could kind of care less. You know, if I can get up in the morning, make my coffee, and see my dog every day, then I don't care. But a lot of guys are so hell-bent on making themselves, even some guys and some girls, are so hell-bent on making themselves look so good in the eyes of others that they'll retweet things in hopes of looking good. Or they'll reply to tweets saying, you know, man, men are garbage. You know, as a guy, men are garbage. You do realize that by saying something like, as a guy, men are garbage, or men are trash as a dude, you're calling yourself trash. It doesn't make sense. Like, you do realize that your crush isn't gonna like you anymore if you just make yourself look better on Twitter. It doesn't affect how you look, how you act, you know, it doesn't affect anything. Because now in reality you're just saying, please guys, give me the acceptance I wanted so badly from all these social groups that I really don't need, but I just want because I want people to like me. And it's very depressing when you boil down and think about it. A lot of the times this happens with guys because they think that girls that see a guy that just agrees with their views instantly means that you're more attractive. And when in reality it just looks like you're just constantly kissing their rear over and over again. It bean boozles me. Now, I'm pretty sure you've seen accounts like Not Post Malone, or, you know, Not Drake, or Not whatever hip-hop R&B artist is relevant right now, that just tweet out abstract stuff like, if you really love me, you'll be there for me. It's hard to lose people nowadays. And all of this trash, essentially. It's like saying, I don't believe in murder. Or, I think that trafficking children in Uganda is bad. And people retweet it all the time. People eat this stuff up. Even though it's probably some, middle-aged dude, middle-aged girl, just sitting by and just scrolling through inspirational love quotes and just tweeting it out. Not to mention that most of the accounts are ran for money, which is weird if you think about it. It's like I have all these teenagers that follow me. I have all these adults that follow me that just eat this stuff up. If I just get sponsored by a work-at-home company or a pyramid scheme, I can make a few $100s off of basically ripping people off. And you'll see this a lot. Just go through any of those accounts I mentioned and you scroll down far enough and you'll see evidence of that. Or you'll run into one of these good old-fashioned guys known as entrepreneurs. One of these examples that I found was named, oh yeah, Honcho. This is my guy. He's an entrepreneur. He has a YouTube channel making hundreds of dollars a day. And I want you to guess how. Just take a guess. So let's go to his YouTube channel. Let's go to his YouTube channel. That sounds awfully familiar. Now, I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. If you see your crush or your friend, even yourself, if you retweeted one of these tweets, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're not very bright. You're not very smart. Chances are you probably have been through a breakup in the last recent year or two and you're just trying to get over it. Or you're in a relationship and you're doing great, but you just had an argument about, I don't know, what you're going to have for dinner. And truly, if you see this on someone else's feed, get very far away from them. Or at least don't take them that seriously. Because chances are they're not that bright here. All they know is just tap, 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 tap. Which is very depressing. Or get them some help. But to wrap this up in a nice little bow, we're going to be talking about the one trend I really hated that happened early on in the year was the retweet this or tweet this so your 2019 is blank. You do realize that if God wanted to snipe Gran, he's not gonna stop because you retweeted something, right? Like, nothing's gonna stop the inevitable from happening. Cancer just isn't gonna stop spreading because you retweeted that tweet. And sorry to break it to you, everyone that's looking for a great year this year, you said that last year, and you said that 5 years ago. Just because you constantly go on saying it, and I understand the mentality of, well, you gotta be positive, Seth. You gotta go out and you gotta say that the world is your oyster. But guess what? The world isn't your oyster. It's not. The world is the world, and you are a tiny, insignificant little human out of 7 billion of them. And guess what? That's the great thing about life. Because even though in the worldwide view, you're insignificant, in your life and in other people's lives, you're very important. So take that as you will. If you're going to come out and tell me that 2019 is going to be a great year, even though God sniped my goldfish earlier on, basically right after my birthday, no, don't. Stop and keep that to yourself, please. Being negative is not really a bad thing. Most people that are negative are just being realistic. They don't try to look at standards and be like, I can reach those because I'm just me. They try to be real with themselves. But nowadays, if you're the tiniest bit realistic or pessimistic, people think that you're just the tumor of your group or you're just always negative, when in reality that's not the case. And a lot of times, even when I've been in that position where I've been called pessimistic a lot of times, it just makes you feel like trash. You're like, oh, okay, so you just want me to be screaming, yeah guys, we can do this. I understand that we have to climb up a mountain and none of us have legs. As a matter of fact, we all have stubs, but we can do it. Even though realistically speaking, we're just going to roll right back down. It's like, okay, do you want me to just go out and look stupid rather than just be honest? And I think that the overly optimistic nature of social media and culture now is sad. Everyone puts their best looks, their best clothes on social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram, and you never really see past that. Most people could have family problems. Most people could have problems with their loved ones or anybody, and you'll never know truly because They're only going to put what's good online. It's rare that you find someone that is as transparent as they are online as you are in real life. And to that I say, if you use Twitter, you know, more power to you. If you're avid on social media, cool. It's a good tool to have. But please don't tweet out garbage like this stuff. Don't. If you are, I don't know what to tell you anymore. Anyways, we're going to go to the ending of the video. So yes, in case you guys are wondering, this is my dog, and my dog's name is Baby. Now, I understand that is weird as a dog name, but it's the name that we chose, oddly enough. And in case you're wondering what this is at the end of the video, I wanted to kind of make something for you guys to be able to interact with me. I understand also the entire video, this side of my face has been like dark. I can see it in the view cam of my camera. Whatever that thing's called, I don't know, I just got this. But we're going to start a new series. I hope I can do it because I'm in college currently and it gets kind of busy. But every Saturday, every other Saturday, I want you guys to put, or not even on Saturdays, you can put it today. You put comments of questions, yes, comments of questions. You can put questions down in the comments that you guys want to ask me. It could be anything ranging from, I don't know. Just don't do yes or no questions because I want these to kind of be a little bit easier to do because I talk a lot. So I could go on about questions all the time. If you ask me about pineapple on pizza, I swear to God, this new series is going to be called Saturdays with Sebs. And you guys will be able to ask me anything. I'll go on and answer them best of my ability. Anyways, if there's 1 comment, 2 comments, 3 comments, 4 comments, whatever, I'll try to go through as many as I can. If I'm too busy, it'll be every other Saturday. I just have to see now because this is obviously the first video I posted in well over a year. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, I do have social media platforms now. I'm not going to be using them. I don't even have them on my phone. But the times I do use them, they'll be there and you'll see. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. And I need to take you out to go eat now, do you? I know, yes I know.
Bust down, Thotiana. I wanna see it bust down. Pick it up now, break that shit down. Speed it up, then slow that shit down.